Alright, now as promised, second part of this video, we're back. We're going to play out here at Woods Edge. We've been here before. We're going to do it again just because we want to play disc golf. So 9-hole 1v1 and may the best man win.
Oh, yeah, probably so. And that is where the audio cuts out. So I'm going to do a little bit of a commentary for the first time over this video. Sean and I are doing a duel here with his new ZUCA cart, and we're doing 2 off the tee here, and he's going to go ahead and throw his second disc right now, which is his MVP relay. His first disc was his Mamba, and he overshot that. This one he got a little bit of a better line, but it's a little more overstable than he expected. And now I'm up with my Star Leopard, and I'm going to attempt the same thing, but I release it with a slight bit of anhyzer, and it doesn't do any turn. So I try to correct with my FD, and I undercook it. Not enough power. And so now I decided to take my first lie when I really should have took my second one that was closer, and I tried my sidearm with an overstable disc, an overstable putter called the AVR X3 in Champion Plastic. It's a little bit too much, and now Sean is up for his second throw, and he's using his little Special Blend Luna to try to get close to the basket, and he kind of overhyzers it. And now he's got a little bit of a putt, so he's using his brand new Mini from the PDGA pack, the same pack where he got the MVP relay driver that he used off the tee. And now he's going to attempt a putt with his little DX AVR, and not quite. Welcome to novice disc golf in the woods. And now I've got my putt for 3, a little bit of a straddle here with my AVR, and I goose it. A little bit over the basket, and now I've got to have a number 4. There's my bogey. Here's his bogey, and we get out of this hole 1 over. Now we're on the tee pad of hole 2, and Sean still has the box, and he throws his MVP relay off to the side, but it's actually more than half the distance down there, so that was pretty good. So I'm going to see if I can duplicate that flight path, and I send it off to the right. So not really my best effort there. And here I am in the woods. I have absolutely nothing, so I just give up and toss it out into the fairway for my third throw, which I'm using my Ricky Pig in Pro Plastic, which I sail it back into the right side. Sean uses the Tomahawk, and with an overstable mid-range called a Truth, and it's burst plastic, and it was too overstable, and it cooked to the right. My fourth throw gets me close to the basket. Sean's third throw gets him close to the basket, and he almost rings it up, just a little bit to the right. And now I've got to put in my 5 here, and thankfully this hole's over for me. And then Sean, he's close enough to get an easy 4. Let's see if he can do it. And sure enough, he did. Thank goodness. Now we're on to yet another challenging woods-based hole, and Sean's using his relay again. And it cuts through the trees and hits the ground about 100 feet away, a little bit less than 100 feet away. And now I'm going to try with my Leopard, since I've been batting terribly with it. And I put that straight into the woods. So now I've got to use my mulligan, my one and only mulligan for this round. And my FD is a little too stable, something that I should have used my Leopard for. Sean uses number 2, and it sails gracefully through everything and lands relatively close to the basket, maybe 15 feet away. Here's my second throw with my overstable AVR X3 putter, and I get kind of close, but is it close enough for me to nail a putt? Crosses his fingers, dots his eyes, something like that, and no. Oh, I do make it. Okay, got a par. You see, I don't remember this. We played this yesterday. Sean just missed that. His foot is completely encircled by thorns, and so he couldn't focus to throw that in. So now he gets his bogey, and we tie the score. And now I've got the box back. So here we are, yet another tightly wooded fairway, and I managed to make it probably as far as I've ever made it on this hole, a little more than 100 feet. And now Sean absolutely sails that brand new disc yet again, and he makes it almost pin high to the basket, but I'm a good 70 to 80 feet back, so I'm going to try a sidearm approach with Anheuser, and I make it fairly close to the basket. You can see Sean off to the left just barely, and yep, he was almost pinned high. He got about 170 feet, and he's going to have an easy tap in for 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap in mine, tap in his, and we're off that godforsaken hole. Oh no, yet another wooded fairway. This time I managed to hit, for the first time, a good Heiser sidearm with an overstable putter to get around the corner, but I get a little more than 50 feet, but I'm where I want. Sean plays a very aggressive Anheuser throw and makes it quite a bit farther than I did, and he's actually becoming pretty proficient at this hole with an Anheuser. Then I do yet another sidearm, but I don't give it near enough power, and I get just shy of the basket by about 25 feet, so that's going to be a tester. Sean's second throw is with yet again another tomahawk, something he's getting good at, just like I'm getting good at sidearm, but I'm still not where I want to be with sidearm, so I'm going to try a distance putt, and sure enough, I hesitated and didn't commit to the putt. Here's his third, and he unfortunately baskets out, and then he's going to now putt in his fourth, and it's far enough for me to potentially miss this, and thankfully I make it. We're tied up yet again, and I still retain the box. And here, hopefully I can nail it, and no, I don't. Yet another failed fairway drive. Doesn't seem to matter what I throw, I'm not making it. Sean, he really let loose, had a little bit of grip lock there. He's up next, so he's going to make a second throw, but he does a beautiful job at throwing that down the fairway, and the disc, I believe, still is in the fairway, but a lot closer. Now here's my attempt, third or fourth attempt at a good sidearm. Let's see if I can get this one going, and okay, it was through the fairway, low power, not far enough, but I managed to get down there quite a bit, about 170 feet further. Here's a good putt, and just slightly airs it over the basket, a little too much hyzer. Now it's my chance to try to land another 25-footer, and can I finally nail it? Can I get rid of these mosquitoes? And goosed it. I overcommitted this time, just can't quite nail it in. Too hot, too cold, I just can't get it in the middle. So now I'm going to putt here. That was a little close, but I barely made it, so naturally I'm now going to putt for him without asking. But thankfully I make it, and we're off this hole taking fours. Now here I am with yet another attempt to, I managed to not nail the fairway, but I managed to cut through all the way through the woods, and I'm completely out into the open. And now here's Sean's attempt, and yet again he laces the fairway at least better than I do, but he kind of overcooks it, doesn't Anheuser it enough, and he ends up towards the bottom part of this creek, and he's got a 25-footer and just shy, but it's an easy tap and putt there. Now here's my number 2. I'm about 20 feet away from the basket, 21, 22 feet if I recall, and all I got to do is goose it. So yet again, another set of tap-ins. I'm going to do one for myself and one for Sean, and we're going to transfer ourselves to the next hole. Number 8, the first wide open hole since hole 1, and now I'm going to try my sidearm and a drive, something I haven't been successful with in a while. And sure enough, I get this almost 200 feet with the Leopard driver, and that I'm pretty happy with. That's as far as I get, farther than I usually get here actually with my backhand. Sean does his backhand Anheuser with his Mamba, gets it a good distance, but not as far as he would like because he had too much Anheuser. Now here he is chunking his dart, his XT dart, and kind of sails it past the basket, and it's not terribly close. Here's my Ricky Pig in Pro Plastic from 2019, and it's too overstable, and I chunk it into the woods myself. Here's Sean with a 24 footer, 25 footer. And we're just not putting machines. We can get it close, but we just can't quite dial it in. So he's going to go ahead and putt here and get his bogey. He wanted to knock that out. Since he was right there, I was fine with that. Flow of play. Here's my attempt to nail a 20-footer. And just too timid. Didn't commit. And I'm going to have to tap in a bogey. We are knotted up. We're now at hole 9. And I've got no mulligan. So I've got one attempt and I fail. And my disc travels a little more than 100 feet because I threw it too low and then hyzered it. And it basically rolled out. So now it's Sean's turn. And he's got his Mamba and he's got a mulligan. So what does he do? Absolutely completely sails the Mamba well over 200 feet and remains inbound. It's at least twice as far as my throw, but it's not good enough. And thankfully he's got one more attempt, and this time with his champion Sidewinder, and he does another almost 200 footer and he gets pretty far, and he's got two good choices. Here I am with my Hail Mary throw, and it fades and hyzers out a little bit, kind of close to the basket, but deep into the thorns. Sean makes his upshot from his best throw, and he's next to the basket. I spent a minute and a half climbing to the back here and cutting myself up with a lot of thorns, and I don't really have a look, so I just basically couldn't make the putter go in the basket. 20 feet away, too obstructed, couldn't do it. Here's Sean's third. That was my third, and he takes it. He pars it. And now the courteous guy that he is, he's going to putt in my bogey for me and cap off the win. He sees a bunch of thorns, particles on my disc, and that's why he stared there. And that's it. Sean wins. Game over. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.